Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to start our journey today with learning Latin prefixes to build vocabulary. On this first slide, you'll see the main title and the subtitle word parts. Sub, super. This is Spelling Week 4. Over the course of this presentation, we'll explore how understanding these prefixes can help us expand our vocabulary and improve our spelling skills. So let's get started and have some fun learning. You can confirm a word's origin and meaning by looking it up in a dictionary. It's a quick way to understand unfamiliar words and their background. Check it. The prefixes sub and super come from Latin, and you'll find them in many English words. Latin roots are the foundation of these prefixes, and they often change or add meaning to a word. This helps us better understand the word's purpose. Think of prefixes as special word parts that attach to the beginning of base words. They are key to expanding our vocabulary and grasping new concepts. So, when you see a new word, remember that prefixes like sub and super are clues to its meaning, helping us connect ideas and deepen our understanding. Let's think about the idea of going under or below. When we see something that goes underwater, like a ship, we call it a submarine. You can see how the word is made up of sub and marine. Sub means under or below, and marine relates to the sea. So a submarine is literally a vessel that goes under the water. Now, another example is a subway. This is an underground path or railway that you might take to get around a city. Again, sub means under and way refers to a path or route. So a subway is a route that runs underneath the ground. The key idea here is that the prefix sub always means under, below, or near. It helps us understand that these words describe things that are beneath or close to the surface. In the bigger picture of our presentation, understanding this prefix helps us see how many words related to going under or below are built. It connects to the theme of how prefixes can change the meaning of words and give us clues about their real-world references. Let's explore the idea of think, going above or beyond. When we talk about someone who is in charge or watching from above, we're referring to a supervisor. The word supervisor actually breaks down into super plus visor, which gives us a visual of someone overseeing or looking over others. Now, beyond just supervision, there's the concept of being beyond normal human abilities, which is where the word superhuman comes in. It combines super and human to suggest abilities that go above and beyond what a typical person can do. The key point here is that super means above or beyond. So, whenever you see super as a prefix, think of it as indicating something that surpasses the ordinary. This ties directly into our overall theme of going beyond limits, whether in performance, effort, or mindset. Understanding the prefix super helps us recognize how language reflects the idea of exceeding expectations or pushing past normal boundaries. It's about reaching higher, achieving more, and thinking beyond what's typical. Let's take a closer look at the word, dividing into smaller parts. This idea is essentially about breaking something larger into more manageable pieces. It's a common approach when trying to understand or organize complex information. Next, we have subdivision. Think of it as creating smaller sections within a bigger whole. For example, a city might have various subdivisions like neighborhoods or districts. It's about organizing things into smaller, more specific groups. Moving on, coming after in time and subsequent. These words relate to sequence. They describe what happens next or what follows after an event. For instance, if something occurs after another event, we call it subsequent. Then there's secondary or supporting, which refers to something that isn't primary but still important, like supporting details or secondary roles. These are things that help or back up the main point. Subsidiary is similar. It describes a smaller company or part that is part of a larger organization. Think of a subsidiary as a smaller branch within a bigger company structure. A smaller group within a larger set is what we call a subset. It's a part taken from a larger collection, like a subset of students in a class. Now, to go underwater or submerge. This is about immersing something beneath the surface of water, like a submarine or an object submerged in the ocean. To put in place of another or substitute. When you replace one thing with another, you're substituting. For example, a substitute teacher steps in for the regular teacher. Lower in rank or position, or subordinate. This refers to someone or something that is below another in hierarchy or authority, like a subordinate employee. Below conscious awareness, or subconscious. These are thoughts or feelings that influence us but are not in our immediate awareness, our subconscious mind. Underwater vessel, or submarine. This is a type of boat designed to operate underwater, often used for exploration or military purposes. Finally, an underground railway system, or subway. This is a rapid transit system that runs below ground in cities, helping us move quickly through urban areas. Remember, mastering these words helps expand your vocabulary and enhances your understanding of complex ideas. They're useful in many contexts, from organization to description of concepts and systems. Today, I want to focus on some keywords that all start with super and how they help us understand different concepts. First up, superlative. This means something of the highest quality or degree. When we say something is superlative, we're highlighting that it's the best of its kind. Next, we have supervisor, which is a person who oversees workers. Think of a manager making sure everything runs smoothly. Moving on, supermarket refers to a large grocery store, a place where we buy our food in bulk. Then there's superintendent, someone in charge of an organization or a specific operation, often overseeing multiple aspects. Superior means higher in quality or rank, like when one option is better than another. Supersede is a bit different. It's about replacing or taking the place of something or someone. For example, a new rule might supersede an old one, making the old rule obsolete. Supervision is the act of overseeing, making sure tasks are done correctly and efficiently. Now, shifting gears, supernova is an exploding star, something incredibly powerful and spectacular in space. Superstar refers to an exceptionally famous performer, someone at the very top of their field. And finally, supersonic describes something faster than the speed of sound, like certain jets or aircraft. When we look at all these words, the common theme is the idea of surpassing or going beyond normal limits, which ties into the overall theme of mastery and excellence with these super words. All right, let's take a closer look at some interesting words related to prefixes that mean beyond, under, or above. First, we have the supervisor is watching, which hints at someone overseeing or monitoring. Moving on, the word beyond what is needed describes something that's excessive or more than necessary. The word superabundant combines super with abundant, meaning overflowing or more than enough. Next, we go under Earth's surface to describe something beneath the ground, which is subterranean. Then, we have beyond the speed of sound, which is supersonic. Think of jet planes that break the sound barrier. When we talk about someone beneath someone else in rank, we call that subordinate, indicating a lower position in hierarchy. In contrast, above the ability of most humans is superhuman, referring to extraordinary strength or capability. Lastly, a railway that is underground is called a subway, common in many cities around the world. This slide is part of our word matching challenge, helping us understand how prefixes like super, sub, and above change the meaning of words. Recognizing these prefixes helps us grasp not just vocabulary, but also how concepts relate to each other in context. All right, let's take a closer look at these examples to see how the words sub and super help us build new words and understand their meanings. First, we have Emmy taking a list to the supermarket. Notice how the prefix sub often means under or below, which can relate to something being beneath or less than. Next, we see the designers of the subdivision. The word subdivision refers to a smaller part of a larger area, like a section of land or a neighborhood. Moving on, Zoe took the subway to work. Here, subway combines sub with way, meaning a path or route beneath the ground. Then the school superintendent met teachers. The word superintendent contains super, which means above or beyond. It describes someone who oversees or is in charge of a bigger area. After that, the school became a superstar. Superstar combines super with star, meaning someone who is above others in fame or talent. Finally, we see a famous actress becoming a superstar, adding a path. This shows how super can elevate or signify excellence or prominence. Throughout these examples, notice how sub and super are used to create words that describe relationships of being below or above, or levels of importance. This helps us understand not just the words themselves, but how prefixes can shape meaning and give us a clearer picture of what we're talking about. Now, let's take a look at some keywords related to the theme of suburbs and expanding vocabulary. First, we have the suburbs, which are typically residential areas situated near a city. These areas often feature colorful homes, making them quite vibrant and inviting. When you hear someone say they want to sign up for something, it usually means they want to subscribe or enroll in a program or service. Moving on, the word subscribe is important because it relates to signing up for newsletters, magazines, or online content. The term residential area near a city is commonly called a suburb, which is a quieter, often more spacious place to live outside the hustle and bustle of the urban center. Next, we have existing underground or subterranean, which refers to anything beneath the surface of the ground. Think of tunnels or underground rooms. These are subterranean spaces. Then there's the concept of a large landmass smaller than a continent, known as a subcontinent. Examples include India or the Arabian Peninsula, large regions that are part of a bigger continent but still distinct. The word to take away or remove is subtract, which is often used in math, but also in everyday situations when we reduce or cut down on something. Finally, to bring under control is subdue. This can mean calming someone down or conquering a challenge. As we expand your vocabulary, these words become tools to better describe places, actions, and concepts related to communities and landscapes. This will help you communicate more effectively about the world around you. Now, let's take a closer look at some words that start with super and see how they expand or emphasize different concepts. First, we have superstitious, which relates to believing in supernatural influences or things beyond natural explanation. It's interesting because superstitions often involve beliefs in supernatural forces affecting our daily lives, demonstrating how human minds seek patterns or explanations beyond the natural world. Next, supernatural itself refers to things beyond natural laws, things that can't be explained by science or natural phenomena. This idea of the supernatural often appears in stories, myths, and beliefs, where forces or entities are believed to exist outside the natural realm. Moving on, supermilitant describes someone who is extremely aggressive, often in a very intense or militant way. This term highlights a level of extremity in attitude or action, emphasizing the aggressive nature of the individual or group. Then we have superstore, which refers to a very large retail store. This term captures the idea of something being bigger or more comprehensive than a standard store, often offering a wide variety of products under one roof. Now, super effective describes something that is highly effective, more so than usual. It's a way to emphasize the extraordinary efficiency or impact of a certain action, method, or tool. Next, superabsorbent refers to a material that is extremely absorbent. This kind of material can soak up a lot of liquid relative to its size, making it very useful in products like diapers or spill pads. Then, superfluid describes a fluid with zero viscosity. This means it flows without any resistance, defying what we typically expect from liquids and showcasing amazing physical properties. Finally, I want to encourage you to expand your vocabulary. These words are not just prefixes. They carry powerful meanings that can enhance your language and understanding, especially when you want to emphasize the extraordinary or beyond the ordinary. Now, as we wrap up this part of our lesson, I want to emphasize a few practical strategies to help you become more confident with new words. First, look for these common prefixes in your reading, like sub and super. Recognizing these can give you clues about what a word means and help you understand the text better. Next, I encourage you to practice writing sentences with the new words you learn. This helps solidify your understanding and makes the words stick in your memory. And don't forget to use your dictionary to confirm the meanings. It's a great tool to ensure you're getting it right. Remember, understanding that sub means under and super means above is key to decoding words easily. Break words into their parts, prefix plus the base word, and this will make spelling and comprehension much simpler. Use what you already know to spell words correctly and keep practicing. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you practice these strategies, the more natural it will become to recognize and spell new words accurately. This is all about building your confidence and improving your reading skills, which is central to mastering language. Keep looking for prefixes everywhere. It's amazing how many words you can find with just a little awareness. Today, you learned over 20 new words, which is fantastic progress. Great job! Remember, prefixes are powerful because they unlock new meanings and help you understand words more deeply. For example, the prefix super means above or beyond, adding a sense of something extra or superior. On the other hand, sub means under, below, or near, giving words a sense of being beneath or close to something else. You've now mastered the prefixes sub and super, which is a big step in building your word power. These prefixes are common and useful in many words you already know or will come across. So, keep practicing and looking for these prefixes in different words. They help you understand and expand your vocabulary, making your language skills even stronger. Remember, prefixes are your keys to unlocking new word meanings, so keep exploring and having fun with words.